So we'll talk about professional placement tasks, and this is cluster 3, AT11, and there's 3 parts. So part 1 is the checklists that there'll be a Camtasia for. Part 2 is some professional interactions that you're actually going to populate in your placement workbook, but we'll talk about that later. Part 3 is we're going to talk about now. Right? Yep.
Usually get our placement.
It'll be closer to the time. Yep. So the revised work plan. So we talked about in AT3, you created your template with your work plan on it. Okay, and we talked about that. So all you're going to do now is when you go on placement, you've got your goals and you've written your objectives. And what's going to happen is that you'll discuss those objectives with your facilitator or your preceptor, okay? And once you've had that discussion with them, you're actually then going to be able to populate that box that says further information added after meeting with supervisor, okay? So what you might say is, I really want to improve my drug knowledge, and I'd like to do a round with, or I'd like to get onto the computer system and look at the drugs that they're on. And the facilitator might, or the preceptor might say, you actually don't have access to the computer systems. So a way you might do that is actually bring your own drug book and you'll have to look them up. So it's basically the conversation you have about, yes, I think that with your whoever's supervising you, it might be your preceptor, it might be your facilitator, and then we want you to write in that box what that conversation, what they said, how they advised you, and then what your plan was and how you're going to achieve that goal. And then if you actually achieved it on placement, you can actually populate that last box that says time frame, actual achievement date, end of first week. So you've already said when you want to achieve it by. You might have said the end of the first week, but if you actually end up achieving it in day 2, you can write day 2, okay? So at the end of placement, you should be able to populate those boxes of the conversations you'll have with your supervisor, and then you'll upload that to AT11. That's the one thing you'll upload to AT11, okay? Because the other 2 parts, part 2 will be actually written in your logbooks, and part 1 is the checklists, which you'll have a Camtasia for. That's it.